Hello, friends, and welcome to another Pauper League. I am Cooper the Red, and this is Caw Gate. So this is a deck that has been around in the format for a short time, and really kind of took a lot of people by surprise when it first kind of like came into existence, because a lot of people hadn't been paying attention to Basilisk Gate. This card had been legal and available in Pauper for weeks, and nobody had really touched it. And then all of a sudden, this deck was created. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the original designer. I'll have to see if I can go back and look that up. But this deck is pretty special. Every once in a while, a new deck is brought into existence. So this one here is really, again, focusing on the Basilisk Gate. In order to do the damage, we've got Sacred Cat, which is pretty damn good with Basilisk Gate. Gotta say, both gaining large amounts of life and coming back for a second shot after it's been destroyed. Guardian of the Guildpact is going to be pseudo unblockable, can't really be targeted with removal spells, so really good option to target with the Basilisk Gate. We've also got the Modern Age. This is going to allow us to churn through our deck to find our Basilisk Gates and to fill our graveyard with Sacred Cats, extra Squadron Hawks, Prismatic Strands, maybe? Speaking of Squadron Hawk, we've got the full four of those, and those are going to be a lot of fun to use alongside Brainstorm, allowing us to potentially put Squadron Hawks back into the deck, playing another Squadron Hawk to redraw them again, getting basically some free draws. Yeah, we've also got one of the most powerful cantrips available, Preordain, full four of, love that. We've got some ways to answer what the opponent is doing as well. This deck has it all. It's got Counterspell, it's got Spell Pierce, and then if the threat has already hit the battlefield, we have Journey to Nowhere or a pair of Suffocating Fumes to just sweep the board of annoying 1/1s. As far as the sideboard goes, we have some incredibly powerful options. We've got the On-Color, Hydroblast, and Dust to Dust, a full four of each. Dust to Dust is going to be super effective versus artifact deck, so anything that's using the bridges, we're going to be able to get like a double Stone Rain. And then we're also running 4 copies of Pyroblast. This is an off-color card, but we've got a lot of ways to produce the mana if we need to. Heap Gate, Citadel Gate, and Sea Gate can all produce red mana. And then finally, we've got a pair of Relic of Progenitus, so anytime we're running up against a graveyard deck, and with Dimir Terror being one of the main decks out there, then this could be pretty useful in that situation. All right, I think we talked about the deck nearly enough. Let's head into the league. Single land hand with a Brainstorm. Could easily get ourselves Brainstorm locked with this hand. We are on the draw, so we would get a lot of looks. Keep this one. All right, opponent starts with a basic swamp. Play Citadel Gate and pass. They have some action here. Cycling Ash Barrens for an island. And island pass. All right, I'm going to play island, hold up Counterspell here. Kind of feel like their scary stuff is going to be coming later. Let's do a Preordain and Sea Gate. Ooh. Architects of Will. Okay, I was thinking more along the lines of Dimir Terror, but it looks like we're up against Cycle Storm. Um, Interesting. I think the Spell Pierce could end up being useful. Maybe I did want that Modern Age discard Guardian of the Guildpact. Dark Ritual. This is how it all starts. No thanks. Oh, another one. Okay. And another one. Oops. Almost mistapped my lands there. That would have been embarrassing when I wanted to cast a counterspell. Oh, here's Cabal Ritual. Yep. We're going to let that happen, but we're going to counter, what you call it, Songs of the Damned, if that goes onto the stack. Citadel Gate, okay. And we'll swing in for one with the Squadron Hawk holding up the counterspell. Next turn, thinking maybe some Brainstorm Squadron Hawk shenanigans. At this point, they have enough mana. Like, if I counter a Cabal Ritual, they can still use the Lotus Petal to cast Songs of the Songs. So, was that Songs of the Damned? Songs of the Dead? And that's really the card that I want to counter at this point. Let's pop these graveyards out. They're going to be important. That could have been a good one to hit with Counterspell. They would have had another Lotus Petal. Okay. So they still would have been able to play songs. There it is. Oh, okay. They have the Scab. They're going to be able to use that to get songs back. Now they're going to be able to songs, make the mana, and they've got quite a big storm count here. Oh, 0 cards in hand? Oh, they had a Mystical Teachings in the graveyard. Okay, that's used to go get Reaping the Graves. Reaping the Graves, they'll be able to return a whopping 10 targets back to their hand, and they still have 6 mana with which to do their thing. If they get Blood Celebrant, they could make a blue mana to bring the Scab back into play, to replay Songs of the Damned. Of course, at that point, their graveyard would have fewer creatures in it because of the Reaping the Graves. But it looks like they're quite content to just cycle here, and then fill their hand back up. Do they find it? They have 1 mana left. Looks like, okay, they've used their last mana. But we don't know what those mystery cards are in their hand, so maybe they drew, like Lotus Petal, and they can continue. We'll see in a moment. Okay, they found an Ash Barrens, colorless mana, and another cycle. No Lotus Petal, and that drops the storm count to 0. They also have to discard a bunch of cards. That was fun. Kind of like the idea of holding double blue up here, so it looks like we have another counter spell. We've got a hand full of cards. They don't know any better. And then we can brainstorm in response to something if it looks like a spell pierce could get them. Otherwise, put 2 Squadron Hawks back. We'll draw 1 and search for the other. Or we could just really focus on Basilisk Gate at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'd be hitting for 7 a pop. Make that 8, which is lethal. So that's 2 swings for lethal. Brainstorm plus Squadron Hawk seems like actual cheating. There are some very, very strong things that you can do in Pauper. It's kind of crazy. Well, I mean, they have the 2 mana, so they could play, if I draw Spell Pierce or the Brainstorm, they can play through it. Don't have Dispel in the main. And we have nothing. Alright, opponent. Do your thing. We got 2 counterspells to go off, but not enough. Fortunately, out of the sideboard, we do get some graveyard hate. Get to bring in 2 relics. I'm wondering if I should bring in Pyroblast to counter the Scab. I mean, it is part of their combo, and if I'm countering Scab, then they don't get to redo Songs of the Damned. They don't get to redo Reaping the Graves. So that could be game, depending on, like what I want to take out. And I think I'll be taking out quite a bit. I can easily take out Journey to Nowhere. Hey, thanks for the follow, friend. Yeah, so maybe I bring in some Pyros. Don't see myself bringing in Hydros, although I guess I could. Just they don't seem that great. Okay, so they're moving in for the kill here. If they're casting Stingers, then we should be dead. So shouldn't be too much longer, and we'll be moving on to game 2. And one more. There it is. All right, let's bring these in. I'm looking at potentially bringing these in as well. What are we taking out? I don't think Prismatic Strands is going to be that useful. We can bring it in. We can use it, and I guess like it keeps us from dying for a turn, right? And then they have to reset up the combo again. Prismatic Strands are probably fine. Don't need Journey at all. What power and toughness are the Draneth Stingers? Let me check this out. They're 2/2s. Okay, so yeah, the Suffocating Fumes aren't going to work on them anyway. So one funny thing with the Draneth, not the Draneth Stinger, the Scab, the blue creature that brings a spell back from your graveyard to your hand. It has what is that called? Extort, I guess. Basically, when it comes into play, you have to sacrifice a creature for its ability to go off, and usually you're going to sacrifice itself. So there's a chance for the opponent to respawn when that's happening. So you can actually kill their creature with like a lightning bolt or something. If they don't have another creature on the battlefield, then they're not going to be able to get their spell back. So it's just a fun way that you can counter that creature without actually having a counterspell. If you have like a lightning bolt or something. Not a huge fan of this hand. Don't like this one either. One of the problems with Basilisk Gate, It's a colorless land. Producing colorless mana is not helping us cast our spells here. I would have kept that last hand if it had Relic in it. Okay, opponent is also on the mulligan. Alright, this is at least keepable. Get rid of what? Like, these kind of, like, help fill my hand back up. Do I just get rid of both Pyros? Can't really cast them with this hand anyway. So yeah, I can refill my hand with Squadron Hawk and then just start discarding them with Modern Age. Two mana, 1/1, draw 3. Seems good. Alright, so it looks like opponent is having a hard time making their land drops. That Ash Barrens, though... I don't want to really play it. We don't really have any ways to bounce it. So if I play it, it's just a colorless land on the battlefield. Guess we can start making treasures with the Heap Gate, which allows us to have mana for the Pyroblast. I like that. And it's also just holding up Counterspell here with Cycle Ash Barrens. So yeah, playing Heap Gate here seems pretty good. And with all this counter magic, I think we'll just sit back. We can just kill with Squadron Hawk Vector Glider here. I guess it's probably fine to play this Hawk this turn. Oh, now they have their colored mana. All right, speed up the clock here. This takes it from a 4-turn clock to a 3-turn clock. No, I've never seen that. That seems kind of good against what's its? Uh Seems pretty good against Koldotha. Wow, a third Songs of the Damned anyway. So now they can Reaping the Graves for their 3 creatures. Yep. And we just draw another Counterspell. Beautiful. I'm going to name red on that one. They did use a Street Wraith, so down to 6 here. Make a treasure. Find Prismatic. Send in with the team, put them to 2. They can no longer use Street Wraiths. And we can counter any of their buyback options. So even if they did get something going here, which I don't think they will, we still have a little bit of game there. Didn't find any relic that time, but that also means that they didn't see it, so they wouldn't necessarily know to bring in some way to take the relic off the table. But at this point, this deck is well known enough that people could definitely find out pretty easily that some play Relic of Progenitus on the side. Yeah, I'll keep this. Think we set up for Counterspell turn 2. Not sure. Maybe I should be going Preordain to start. Just not sure, like, how fast the opponent's deck can go. I don't know if they can, like, go off on turn 3. Having a breakfast cookie? Oh, that sounds great. What goes into a breakfast cookie? Or is that just like a cookie for breakfast? Either way is fine. Thinking Heap Gate, make a treasure, or hold up Counterspell Pyro. I guess we don't get to hold up both, only one or the other. Otherwise, I could play Citadel Gate here. A gate that makes a treasure. Oh, it does all kinds of things. Heap Gate is great. So you can play Gates and Legacy Vintage? Oh, no way. For the Maze's End. People have been kind of wanted Maze's End and Paupers. Like, no, no, we got Basilisk Gate. That's enough. But yeah, people were looking for any way to make Gates good. In Pauper, and, took a while, but eventually we got Basilisk Gate. That was a pretty good. That was a pretty good turn for the opponent here. Another Songs of the Damned. So I can counter this, or I could try and wait to counter the thing that rebuys this. I think I'm going to go for the counter. And they have the Pyroblast? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it didn't matter. I couldn't counter at any point. Not this turn anyway. Yep, now it's F6 value. Things are going to be going quite a bit faster from here. Since now they just get to go ahead and do their thing. We just got to wait through it. Maybe I should have dug more aggressively for Relic. Well, I'll get to dig if I get to untap. I'll be able to dig with Preordain, play Heap Gate, hold up Pyro. Oh, that's another big Reap. That's going to fill their hand right back up. They have 5 mana currently, so they're going to get some draws. They get Street Wraith, so they can use those as free draws. And then, yeah, they have 5 black mana plus the Lotus Petal, so 6 mana. They can use 5 mana to cycle, and they'll have 1 mana left for songs. And meanwhile, if they draw any rituals in between now and then, they can just cast them for extra mana. And something I'll try to keep in mind for later when playing against Cycle Storm turn 4, probably where they're going to be going off turn 4 later. It's just like there's a lot of setup for the combo to get started. So for them to go off turn 3, I think it'd be pretty rare to do. I'll have to go back and watch Bryant Cook's videos. He has done some excellent content. If you're interested in Cycle Storm, definitely check out Bryant Cook. Okay, here's a Blood Celebrant, which gets them colored mana. So now they can have access to blue mana, which gets them the Repository Scab. And if I had held, I guess I had no access to red mana, but if I had played the Heap Gate, I guess I could have like countered that, and then they wouldn't have been able to counter back with Pyroblast. But at the time, I didn't know that they were even playing Pyroblast. But I guess that's because I didn't look at their deck list. I mean, it should have been pretty obvious, right? Like, what else are they gonna have in the sideboard? Of course, they're gonna have Pyroblast. Oh yeah, definitely can be a very effective deck. Um, you never want to run into Relic of Progenitus, Nail Spellbomb, those kinds of things. But yeah, as long as you don't run into Graveyard Hate, you can play around most other things. Ooh, Data's Ploy, gonna gain a bunch of life with that. Yeah, yeah. People play a null. No, no. Unfortunately, this is not a winning game. This is watching the opponent put the win together. As long as they can finish me off in 6 minutes, I think they'll be fine. Okay, so they've started putting the stingers onto the table. This is the beginning of the end. Now, cool thing that you can do with this deck, if you've like gone through your combo and you had to basically like empty your library in order to get to the point where the opponent is now, something you're able to do is actually what the opponent is doing right now. So you don't actually have to draw the card for the Drana Stingers to be doing their damage. So you can cycle the card, and with the cycling on the stack, you let the Drana Stingers resolve and then cycle another card, and that way you're not drawing yourself out of the game. And there we go. GG. I'll see if they're still here. I'll give them the GG in chat. Yeah, that's true. Relic is not a GG, but it can be depending a lot on what's going on. But yeah, so I could Cycle Ash Barrens, go get Plains, play Sacred Cat. You can play Citadel Gate, play Sacred Cat. I kind of want to go get an island with this anyways, and then next turn we can go get island, hold up Counterspell. Okay, looks like the mirror match. Do I want to name black with this for Suffocating Fumes? Seems like Fumes could potentially be a good card. If, you know, I'm looking to get rid of a flock of Squadron Hawks, for example. Counter their Modern Age. Was kind of hoping that, you know, maybe they wouldn't have a land drop. Basilisk Gate? No. Love how the Cooper the Red stream is just in time for lunch break every day. That is a good thing. It's almost like I planned it that way. I mean, I do really like this time slot. Don't know what's going to be going on in the future. Got some stuff going on at work right now that could be potentially changing my schedule around quite a bit. But we'll deal with that when next year. Oh, there's the Basilisk Gate. So any creature I put onto the table now is going to be quite the scary threat. If I could find a Guardian of the Guildpact, that would be pretty nice. It would be difficult for them to deal with. Island go. Pause on my upkeep. What do they have here? Can't really think of anything offhand, like... Oh, Modern Age, okay, let's cast that. Guten Tag. Alright, so it looks like they want to counterspell the Modern Age. Was kind of hoping to keep this counterspell to counter one of their Guardian of the Guildpacts, but let's counter back. See if we can get this Modern Age to resolve. And we do. Now we can discard this Prismatic Strands. And Preordain. Okay, I like both of those. Oh, I put them in the wrong order. I guess I could cycle Suffocating Fumes and still draw the cat. Oh, wow, a Force Spike. Got him. Wow, you sure got me with that. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lands get got by a Force Spike. At least it was only a Sacred Cat. Another Basilisk Gate on top. Let's go. I mean, no way am I discarding the Squadron Hawk here. That's a draw 3. And opponent concedes. All right, what are we going to do? What do we do in the mirror match? Woof. This is definitely like... Sideboarding is the time where I kind of like, I wish I just specialized in a couple of decks. Difficult to, like play a different deck every day and try and figure out the sideboard. Hold the door. So you could bring in some Pyros as a way to counter, their counterspells, their Modern Age, like Arms and Pyro. I mean, they don't really have any dust targets. Dust to Dust is for affinity, right? I'm actually kind of wondering about Arms of Hadar. Do I even want that? We got 2 Suffocating Fumes. I guess Arms of Hadar plus Suffocating Fumes is a way to deal with Guardian of the Guildpact. Relic for cat. That'd be pretty difficult, like potentially they're going to have a lot of cards in their graveyard. They're going to be able to choose what to take out. If we want to actually crack the relic, we lose our own graveyard. Now Sight and Hydroblast for the opponent's Pyroblast. Now we're thinking with sideboards. Well, not a huge fan of this, but we got Counterspell. And they're on the mulligan. We're also on the draw here, so we're going to have the slight advantage just as far as like card advantage goes, which, like gets a little bit better with their mulligan. Okay, no 2-mana spell on turn 2. 2 cards top with the Preordain. Play Citadel Gate, pass a turn back. Ooh, we find Squadron Hawk. We have Squadron Hawk Brainstorm. The thing is, if we play Squadron Hawk right now, like, we can't fill our hand back up. It's already full. Do we have Force Spike? No, we don't. Thanks for the follow, friend. So the C Gate here, when we end up playing that, we can name red or black. Because we're a 4-color deck now. Alright, so the opponent puts 1 top, 1 bottom. Plays Citadel Gate, names red. And passes back. Play this, goes to 6. Play this, goes to 5. And then we can put 2 Squadron Hawks to hand. Now there's a Basilisk Gate for the opponent. So now their creatures are super, super scary. Squadron Hawk are their own. Oops, played double white instead of double blue. That's not how we do that. Counterspell, they're going to have a counterspell to counter my counterspell here. They use Red Elemental Blast. Okay. Find some cool stuff with Brainstorm. All right, so they're trading off one of their Squadron Hawks for one of mine. Cool with that deal. We're going to take a big hunk of damage here. And nothing we can do about that. Find a Sea Gate. All right, let's start with Modern Age. Find a Sacred Cat. Probably supposed to attack first. Are you going to block this turn if they let me? So that's the fourth and final Squadron Hawk from the opponent. Find Basilisk Gate, not bad. So if we can activate our Basilisk Gate on Sacred Cat, we can start gaining life, and then we won't be in as much danger from their Squadron Hawks. But they could use something like Prismatic Strands to prevent the damage, which would also prevent the life gain. Now they have a Sacred Cat of their own. Oh my god. This is just going to go on forever until one of us draws an Arms of Hadar or something. And they have 3 mana up, so they probably even have the Strands in hand. Okay. Counterspell, interesting. So the thing is, if they cast Prismatic Strands here, and then we try to, like, counterspell it, then they can just actually recast it immediately for the flashback cost. So there's no point in countering this. Good question. I think Syncopate is legal. Now I'm also not quite 2 minutes behind on the opponent, so if we end up like going on the long haul here, they could there could be a problem. Could get timed out. Now this is a problem. Now they can just start Basilisk gating their Sacred Cat, gaining life. I think this one, I mean, I could still draw some cards. I have some options. Just not many left. I already know what I'm drawing, though. I guess that blocks the Sacred Cat forever, so that's fine. The island on top is not good, though. So let's see here. If I attack with Vector Glider and they draw Basilisk Gate, I die. Maybe... Hmm. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Just thinking if I want to activate this, try and swing in for some damage. They'll almost certainly just block, but... And I mean, they're just gaining life with Sacred Cat anyway, until this Guardian of the Guildpact hits the battlefield. Let's make sure this resolves. And then yeah, with this coming down, I don't have the mana to actually like activate Basilisk Gate. I still do have the mana though for Counterspell Pyroblast, so it's not like I tapped myself off of anything. Oh yeah. Well, that's why some decks play Gift of Orzhova, so they can give Guardian flying and lifelink. Okay, well that's basically, I mean, we even knew this was on top, so what can we do? Not much of anything. I could attack in with Guardian, but that seems bad. So Basilisk Gate, we're dead. And we draw another island. All right. On to the next one. All right, opponent's on the mulligan again. Down to 6 so far. Okay, starting at 6 is the opponent. No Celestial Flares in this list. Get the extra land here. I've heard this is a good one, a good land. So opponent's going to start their turn 2 with a land Preordain. And a Sacred Cat shows up. Find another Pyroblast that we can't cast. So play Basilisk Gate down to 6, down to 5. So we could draw 2 with Squadron Hawk. Cooper the Fed. Thanks for that. Alright, so opponent has an island for their 3rd land drop and has a Squadron Hawk. Clicking on the Redeem Shave button and it isn't working. How would you have enough points again? Probably because I'm quite short on manas. I was going to say, twice in a row, handsome? That's pretty impressive. Hey, there we go. You got enough points for me to wear a hat, though. All right, let's be Vikings. Gonna see if I can find some new hats after Halloween when they go on sale. Ooh, nice. We draw a land. Grab the last bird. So one of the hard things about this matchup here is that I don't have a lot of experience with Caw Gate, so I don't really know what the important things to fight over are. Oh, they have Counterspell magic up. Probably shouldn't play this Guardian of the Guildpact into their counter magic. Alright, let's bluff Counterspell, play Squadron Hawk. And then next turn we can play Guardian with Pyroblast up. That'll be pretty good. Ooh, Basilisk Gate. Squadron Hawk, yep. It's pretty good. Okay, Pyroblast our Counterspell. We get our Guardian. I guess I'll play Citadel Gate here. Name black. We have all of our colors. One, two, three, four. They have 3 gates. I go up to 5 gates. Gonna be able to attack for 7 a turn. That's a 3-turn clock. But then they get to start attacking with Sacred Cats once I start tapping with this. Oh, they've got Relic. Take this hit. I could guess I could like attack in with Vector Glider Squadron Hawks. Some pretty good damage. Now, unfortunately, because we have this one up, we obviously don't have Counterspell available to us this turn. Opponent can see that. Okay, so they are going to get aggressive here, attack for 5. And I think we have to hold back a little bit here, because if they get... Okay, they even just play Squadron Hawk. So yeah, now they can block us. It depends on, what you consider to be fun. Some people would think this deck is really fun. Oh, another Basilisk Gate. Is that just GG? So let's see. We have 5 gates. Play this, goes up to 6. And we just attack with Guardian. Good game. So yeah, that should be death for them. Nice. This looks fine. That or like a specific type of ram. Very dynamic. All right. Thinking start with Citadel Gate. And now we get to see what are we up against. A snow-covered island and a pass. All right, so I could play Basilisk Gate, Squadron Hawk, go get 2 Hawks. And then they're like, Force Spike? You're kidding me. They actually have it? I was joking. Okay. Yep. You got me. Not playing around Force Spike. Opponent's got to be feeling like a super genius for that one. Super genius. Might as well just play Heap Gate, start making treasures. Opponent's like, all counterspells. Let's see that spell stutter sprite. And there it is. Living the good life, mono blue with Force Spike. How good would these Squadron Hawks have been, against their 1/1 flyers? It seems like they would have been pretty good. Oh, Moon Circuit Hacker. Deals damage to a player. So we could Prismatic Strands here. Keeps them from drawing a card. And then we'll have it in the graveyard maybe for later. Or are they just going to counterspell to guarantee that they draw the card? Okay. Still 1 for 1 there. But, yeah, now they get to draw a card. Lame. Oh, well, we'll be able to hit him with the Journey, get that off the table. Even though this is not as good as the other ninja, I think it's still worth taking off the table. Ooh, Preordain. Not bad. Oops. Maybe make the right mana, Cooper. How about that? Yeah, it's a ninja looter. I was thinking maybe they just, like, snap it back to their hand. Not snap, Vapor Snag. Maybe they Vapor Snag it back to their hand. Preordain. Find Brainstorm and Island. Not a huge fan of either of those cards at the moment. Let's go bottom. Find another land. Beautiful. I think I'll play the Sea Gate named Black, so that I have access to black mana if I need it for Suffocating Fumes. So all my lands are gates. Gates forever. I have the Basilisk Gate. I just need some creatures here. Find another gate. Might be a little bit flooded, chat. What do you think? I think I might just be a little bit flooded. Alright, so they play Fairy Miscreant pre-combat, attack with Spell Stutter Sprite, and Ninja. So there's Ninja the Deep Hours. Deep Dish Pizza. More gates in an airport. Yup. And this game is starting to slip away. This Ninja the Deep Dish is just like eventually creates so much card advantage that it can't be overcome. So we really need something, and we're just not finding it. Spell Pierce is not going to help us. Wonder if they just play... No, they don't play Spell Stutter again. They're going to hold that in hand. They got Counter Magic. And they can just ride this to victory. Another Ninja. MC Hacker in the house. I should just hit 0 here. Fortunately, we do have some pretty good cards in the sideboard, basically the same things that we brought in versus Caw Gate. We can bring in all the Pyroblasts, bring in Arms of Hadar. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Guild Summit would kind of be nuts in this deck. And another land! Just when you thought we couldn't have drawn any more lands, we find another! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lands in the top 15. Come on. So yeah, the card advantage that they're getting at this point is just too much for us to overcome. I guess, like, we could try to find a Suffocating Fumes. Maybe if they tap enough mana, we can find an opportunity to cast one. But they just cast 3 1-mana of 1 mines. So even if we find a sweeper and are able to resolve it, they just have more cards in hand than we do. And with MC Hacker, they're, like constantly improving the card quality of the hand, able to discard lands, keeping the spells that Ninja the Deep Dish gives. I do think that you should let Ninja the Deep Dish let this ability resolve first, so that you draw an extra card before you have to choose a card to discard. But I guess if you got, like a bunch of lands in hand, it doesn't really matter, because you're just going to discard a land. Keep making treasures, that's all we can do. They have to discard a hand size. Discard 4 spike, okay. So there's the Suffocating Fumes that we've been looking for. They only have 3 lands tapped, and currently Spell Stutter Sprite just straight up counters this. Doesn't look good. Yeah, like, all they need is a Spell Stutter Sprite. Even just Counterspell. It is the card we needed, but we needed, more than just lands to go with it. All right, let's bring in Arms of Hadar, bring in Pyro. Yeah, want to keep Prismatic Strands, want to keep the Hawk, the Modern Age. I guess we can get rid of Spell Pierce. Do we want to keep Counterspell? They're the tempo deck. It's going to be hard for us to use Counterspell effectively. Pyroblast, on the other hand, 1 mana to cast it. And the thing is, it gets rid of the things that are on the board as well. So Pyroblast can be used to take out a Ninja the Deep Hours. But again, I'm not sure. I don't spend a lot of time playing Caw Gate, so if any of you watching on YouTube's have better ideas about how the sideboarding should have been done, go ahead and write a comment. Are they going to get me again with a Force Spike on Squadron Hawk? Better not. Better not. Okay, no Force Spike. Foil. Ah! Foiled again. That would be funny. Any flips? No flips. 100% block here if they attack. If they give me that option, they might just like snap my Squadron Hawk here and then play a Ninja the Deep Dish. Alright, so they're starting with a Delver and a Fairy Miscreant, so they're flooding the board here, and it looks like a pass back. Can't imagine they would attack here. Okay, so we find a Preordain, allowing us to use our blue mana here. Let's see what we find with this. Find Guardian of the Guildpact and Brainstorm. I mean, Brainstorm's pretty good with Squadron Hawk, but what we really need are lands. And we miss. Play another Squadron Hawk. Get the last Hawk out of the deck. Alright, any flips? Oh, they do flip. Revealing Vapor Snag. Oh, that's a good one. If we try and double block an Aberration, they can Vapor Snag one of our Hawks. And we don't currently have red mana. Okay, coming in with the Fairy Miscreant as well. That's surprising. Okay, well, I mean, I'm going to block the Miscreant. And then I guess we'll take 6. Hopefully, Sacred Cat will be able to get us back into the game for a bit of life. But, you know, like, we know they have Vapor Snag, so if we try and, like, Basilisk Gate a Sacred Cat, we know they're going to have bounce effects. Oh, that's a snap on my Squadron Hawk to save their Fairy Miscreant. But if you want to ninja something now, you have to ninja a Delver of Secrets, which is not the most fun. Okay, we miss on lands again. I think I'm going to want to start off with a Sacred Cat here, see if they counter this, because they probably have a Spell Stutter Sprite here waiting to counter our Modern Age. And I need Modern Age to resolve to try and find a land. Oh, Counterspell, okay. No land drop, so pass back. And we know they have Vapor Snag. It was revealed twice, not 2 Vapor Snags. Okay, coming in with Fairy Miscreant again. I'll block the Miscreant. Take 6, going down to 8 here. And find a Brainstorm. Well, again, we're playing through potential counter magic. Makes things a little bit difficult. We can attack with Sacred Cat, though. I'm not going to use the Basilisk Gate, knowing that they have the Vapor Snag. That would be kind of a waste of our turn. It would actually just be a setback. So let's gain a little bit of life. See if we can resolve another Sacred Cat. How about a Modern Age? Okay, got the Modern Age to resolve. Any lands? No lands. Alright, so we're just straight up taking 6, going to 3 here. And like I was saying, Basilisk Gate is not really doing much for us here. Gonna get 2 draws to try and find a land. But like even this Pyroblast is just so far away, since in order to get red mana we have to play a tap land. I guess we're dead. Because we can only play 1 blocker, or they get to Vapor Snag it. That's it, GG. Guess I could try and find Heap Gate so that we could Pyroblast one of these, gain a life. We find Basilisk Gate, not Heap Gate. All right, GG. One land and it's Ash Barrens. We're gonna mulligan this. This does not look good to me. This looks a little bit better. Keep this one. Probably should have got rid of Spell Pierce. If they're playing walls, I don't think Spell Pierce is going to be very good. Need to name blue here with Citadel Gate. If this was a C Gate, I would have named black so we could Suffocating Fumes later. But I want to have access to double blue so we can counterspell. Yeah, it's walls. Oh, the Suffocating Fumes is looking real good. We just need some black mana here. Overgrown Battlement. Might have been a nice thing to have a counterspell for there. Wall of Roots. That's cool. Haven't seen Wall of Roots since I played Yawgmoth Combo. Another Wall of Roots. Winding Way. They've already used the Quirion Ranger, right? They have. They've already used this, so they have 1 mana left. I should be able to Spell Pierce this. Nice. So we have Counterspell or Suffocating Fumes here. Counterspell. Oh my god, they had another one. Lead the Stampede. Oh, and they just drew 5 cards. Oh, that's brutal. Now, we had counters for 2 of the important ones, but they had 3. And they decide not to play the other Quirion Ranger, so that I cannot Suffocating Fumes kill it. And they have Drift of Phantasms. So let's see here. Drift gives them infinite mana. Is there any way we can even, like, come back from this at this point? Doesn't seem like it. Maybe. Now we get to do the Squadron Hawk thing. That's cool, right? Next turn we get to play Basilisk Gate. Problem is this turn. And I guess they can go like drift into kill. I'm pretty sure they just have the win here. Yeah, drift reveals drift, and then you drift for reaping the graves. So reaping the graves returns the 2 drifts, and then you can go get what was it called? Freed from the Reel, and their kill card. What was the name of that card? It's a red 3-drop. You tap 8 generic mana, and it does 3 damage to any target. Valakut Invoker, I think it's called. Our sideboard isn't really going to help very much either. We could bring in Arms of Hadar, but that's not really going to help very much. It just gets rid of the 1/1s that Suffocating Fumes hits anyways. I guess we could bring in Pyro. Some of their important spells are blue. So we could bring this in. And if they are still combo post-sideboard, then this can potentially stop the combo cards. Prismatic Strands, I kind of feel like that's just not very good in this matchup. We cast Prismatic Strands, they just respond with combo. Reaping the Graves is just the way that they can win the game if they have a ton of mana and 1 copy of Drifted Phantasms. It's not in any way necessary. Could bring in Relic. I think Suffocating Fumes is better to get rid of their Quirion Rangers. Single land hand. We have Preordain. We could play on turn 2. I just don't think this is very good. Keep this one. I'm going to keep Sacred Cat, keep Basilisk Gate, keep Preordain, Sea Gate, Citadel Gate. The Spell Pierce, I mean, it was pretty good that one time. Just don't think that it's something we can really count on. Most of the time, they're just going to have access to so much mana. You're going to need to find a chance to make some red mana so we can use the Sea Gate for red later. I think I'm going to go Preordain Sacred Cat here, though. Another Basilisk Gate? Interesting. Oh, there's Winding Way. Oh, they only get 2. I really kind of want to save this Journey to Nowhere for a better target. Crewman Ranger's pretty good, but I'd like to hit the battlements with it. Let's give them an opportunity. You want to trade with Cat? They're not going to want to trade with Cat, by the way. Come on, you're not even thinking about it. Find a Brainstorm. Probably get rid of one of the Basilisk Gates here. There's their Overgrown Battlements, so we'll hit that with Journey to Nowhere. Ooh, Squadron Hawk could be good with Brainstorm. And I've already played a land this turn. Oh, Appas is saying, sorry, work phone call GG's. The hand is playable. This is a hand that can be played. Keep it. Pull some Squadron Hawks out of the deck. Oh, is this a mirror match again? Citadel Gate Black. Maybe not. Find Prismatic Strands. So we could actually grab all the Squadron Hawks and then put Prismatic Strands straight into the graveyard. I like that play. That's pretty nice. Turn 2, discard Prismatic Strands. Have a creature on board. Draw 3. Seems good. Okay, so Basilisk Gate. Playing their own Squadron Hawk. Yep. Revealing 1. Yep. Ah, we don't find a land. All right, well, we've got Preordain here. See if we can Preordain into a land. Oh, yeah, we can. Top. If we top the Basilisk Gate, we can actually play a Squadron Hawk here. But if I top the Sea Gate, then next turn I could play a Guardian of the Guildpact. Tough choice. Squadron Hawk, but better in Legendary. Interesting. So it'd be like what? A 2-mana 2/1 that whenever it hits the opponent, you flip the top card, make a treasure, and punch them in the face? Oh, they do have a land drop. And it's an island, so it looks like it is a mirror match. They just, for some reason, named black with the Citadel Gate. I don't know if that was a misclick or if they have something else that we don't know about yet. Kind of want more lands. I guess Squadron Hawk can shuffle. So if we wanted to, we could take the Prismatic Strands and still shuffle. No, bottom. I want lands. And we find one. So I could Ash Barrens, go get Island, play Squadron Hawk. I'm not sure how aggressively I should be trading my creatures either. Feel like if we can get this to resolve, we're in pretty good position. Alright, so they don't have actual count... No, because they go get Island, play Island. So yeah, they do have Counterspell up here. And if I use Basilisk Gate, then we take down Counterspell. Pretty much anything I play takes down Counterspell. Could play Squadron Hawk. That's basically the only thing. Or Journey to Nowhere. Start doing damage. Oh, okay. Suffocating Fumes. Good one. Yep, that works. Yeah, I should have seen that coming from the Citadel Gate naming black from the start. Should have been obvious. I was more worried about Counterspell there. So that was a pretty good Suffocating Fumes from the opponent. They got a pair of Squadron Hawks, plus they caught me tapping my Basilisk Gate. Now they've got double Basilisk Gate. And they're the ones doing damage now. Of course, they are tapped out, so we can resolve Guardian of the Guildpact. And we have Prismatic Strands in the graveyard. So if they decide to do some big damage one turn, we can stop the damage. All right, so they discard a Squadron Hawk here. As far as I know, they don't have another Squadron Hawk in hand. They've revealed two. And then the other one, the first one they played. They've got all the modern ages. And they end up discarding the other Squadron Hawk there. Don't think I want to Prismatic Strands this turn. Because it's just like, could be even way more scary next turn. And then again, we get to just journey. This is like an opportunity where they don't have Counterspell up. Prevent all white damage. Ooh, Sacred Cat. Could play Modern Age and Sacred Cat and hold up Counterspell. I think like getting in with the Basilisk Gate, starting to do some damage would be a good idea. And then if I hit this with Journey, they're not able to do damage this turn coming up. Oh, so they have Prismatic Strands there. Yeah, this is the second mirror. The Caw Gate's very, very popular deck at the moment. Um, it's actually one of the most played decks in Pauper currently. So if you do decide to pick up Caw Gates, then be ready to fight the mirror. Oh no, do they have a Guardian as well? Guardian from the opponent here while we're tapped out would be very strong. Especially with the Prismatic Strands in the graveyard. Yeah. Damn. Damn. There's that stupid Squadron Hawk again. I guess we do have the Counterspell for the Prismatic Strands. Question is, are we dead? Because they can double activate on Guardian. So that's 5 gates, 10, 12 damage. So it doesn't look like it's lethal. So we can go Basilisk Gate, hit him for damage, Counterspell the Prismatic Strands, and then they come back at us. That's 10, 14. So if they get oh geez, yeah, this could be just, I shouldn't have played this Modern Age. I should have played the Squadron Hawk so we had a blocker for this. Because now if they get Gate, we die. All right, let me think about this. Is there a way for me to play this out? I could put them to 9. No, it's just giving them too much time. I want to kill them next turn. Oh, they just take it. Okay. In that case, I can play the Squadron Hawk. And now we have a blocker for the Vector Glider. So I think even if they get a Gate here, we're not quite dead. This, however, does let them, like, just wait here. They don't have to cast anything. And then if I go for the kill, they have Prismatic Strands plus Counterspell. Okay, so they're gonna put the right, because if they attack with this, then they don't have Prismatic Strands out of the graveyard. Journey to Nowhere on the Squadron Hawk, sure. And now they also have Counterspell up for my Counterspell. Okay, draw another card. Modern Age. Counterspell? Nope. Ditch this. Play another Modern Age. Try and find Counterspell. Although at this point we don't even have the mana. Suffocating Fumes. That's not going to work. And I have to go in because these things are going to kill us. So yeah, we are priced into our... we're forced into our move here. This is the only option we have. And their Counterspell is about to win the game. GG. Shortcuts don't work for this, apparently. Yes, I like to play first. Eh. Remember that time we had, what was that, 10 lands in the top 15 cards? Anyone remember that? Good times. Got this Hawk on board. Gonna be able to name red with this Sea Gate for the Pyroblast. Go get planes with the Ash Barrens. Wonder if we're just supposed to take that off the table. We can't do it this turn anyway, so... Top those. We don't have the full set of Squadron Hawks, but we can still do some fun stuff with Brainstorm Squadron Hawk here. They discard another Prismatic Strands. And they have a Basilisk Gate. And we find our own Prismatic Strands, of course, right where we put it. Oops. Okay, no, that's fine. This produces white. Okay, we're good, no problem. And we're just going to get the one Squadron Hawk here. I don't want to discard the Prismatic Strands at the moment. I want to get as many activations out of it as possible, rather than just the one from the graveyard. And opponent's going to Brainstorm end of turn. Interesting. I usually get in trouble when I cast Brainstorm end of turn. Chat's like, hey, what are you doing? Okay, that makes a lot more sense. When you got Ash Barrens to follow it up, that's fine. Starting to think I might want to Pyroblast that Vector Glider. Woof. Wish I could Pyroblast that. That's a problem. Hey, we found Basilisk Gate. All right. That changes things a little bit. Attack for 5. They take. Could play Sacred Cat here, but that makes us a little bit weak to, I guess they don't currently have black mana, so it should be fine. Citadel Gate names black. Oh, and they're going to attack with it. So they're not going to have Prismatic Strands available. We're going to be able to gain a little bit of life, do some damage. It'll be good times. Oh, Sacred Cat. So that's a blocker for my Sacred... Oh, no, that's even worse. That just activates the Prismatic Strands, so they're good to go on that now. We're not going to be getting any damage in. I mean, we do have Counterspell, but I probably want to keep that for the Suffocating Fumes. And then they flashback Prismatic Strands here. That's fine. All right, what do you have for a follow-up, opponent? Kind of thinking you were going to bring Suffocating Fumes to bear here. You could do that and hold up Counter Magic, which is kind of scary. But if you want to go Arms of Hadar with Counter Magic up, you got to play a land here. Starting with Preordain, resolves. Kind of risky to activate Heap Gate end of turn. If they hold up 3 mana, then if we tap out for Heap Gate, they're going to be able to resolve their Suffocating Fumes. Hey, thanks for the follow, friend. Oh, they're tapping the Citadel Gate, so they won't have access to black mana anymore. So we can make a treasure if we like. Hey, we found our own Suffocating Fumes. Not bad. Oh, it's just the Prismatic Strands from hand. Yep. Doing so much work. Prismatic Strands. What a card. Also, this is game 2. I have about 10 minutes on my clock, while the opponent has 13. So if we end up going to a game 3, I'll probably time out. Now, this is one of the difficulties of picking up a deck like this and just walking into a league without much practice. So they've played a land this turn, so if they activate the Basilisk Gate, they don't have black mana. Seems like a good time for Prismatic Strands. So they're going to counter it. We could counterspell this. We get the extra use of the Prismatic Strands that way. Prismatic Strands for days, chat. Infinite Prismatic Strands. So we can counterspell or spell pierce, but we cannot Suffocating Fumes. Okay, heading back to my turn. They still have a Prismatic Strands left. Journey to Nowhere. It doesn't help very much. Can't hit Guardian of the Guildpact with that. Does take a cat off the table, though. Okay, so they're going for the Fumes here. Hit that with a Spell Pierce. Because I did that on the Sacred Cat, they can just block it with a Guardian. They don't even need to use Prismatic Strands. That was a bit of a mistake. This is not good. This was a mistake. Because even if I counterspell the Prismatic Strands, they still just prevent the damage from Sacred Cat. I needed to put the Basilisk Gate onto the Squadron Hawk. Yeah, this is just all around bad. Damn it. Ugh. So brutal. I just... Could have had Suffocating Fumes up, Suffocating Fumes end of turn, or in response to Basilisk Gate on a Sacred Cat. If I had not used the Basilisk Gate. Oh well, is what it is. We all make mistakes sometimes. Me more than most. And I don't know about any of you, but personally, when I'm watching someone, a Magic player, or like anyone, like in sports or games, when I'm watching someone that I look up to and they make a mistake, it makes me actually feel a little bit better because I know that everybody makes mistakes. Look, even this person that I'm watching on YouTube's, they make mistakes too. This could have been a lot worse. I mean, I make mistakes sometimes. It's going to happen. I get people talking on my YouTubes about it sometimes. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done this. Yep, you're right. Made a mistake. But I'm also, the one that's putting my content out there, so, you the viewers see a lot of my mistakes. Where normally I would just be able to hide them, Hey, thanks for saying so, Akuyara. I do try. Okay, so Suffocating Fumes just goes off. They can still use the Guardian of the Guildpact for this last Prismatic Strands. I think I'm going to try and force them into that. And then we can hold up Counterspell. Might be good to play Sacred Cat. So that we potentially have life gain. Because this is just going to kill us in 2 turns. So we probably have to play Cat. That's true as well, Akuyara. Commentating on my play and then also interacting with chat. That all takes brain power that I could otherwise be putting entirely into the game. I mean, sure, chat does help me out sometimes, like telling me what they think the best play is, what they think I should sideboard. So there is that advantage. But also, the opponent can watch my stream too. Okay, embalm a cat. Yep. Now, what am I even doing? I should be F6'd here. I've got 5 minutes and a half on the clock. Opponent's 3 minutes ahead of me. Modern Age. Discards. What? Spell Pierce. Oh, that is a nice Spell Pierce. Okay. Okay, they're just going to take the damage. Sweet. Play another Sacred Cat, hold up Counterspell, I guess. They discard a Sacred Cat. So the problem here is they can activate Basilisk Gate, start gaining life. So they would go to 8. And we don't necessarily have lethal because we would be attacking for 7. Put him to 1. Squadron Hawk, that's a blocker, but nothing we can do about it. We can, I guess that's not entirely true, not nothing. We can Journey to Nowhere it. And I go get a bunch more Squadron Hawks. Interested to see if they play another Squadron Hawk here. Or if they go for Basilisk Gate to gain life. Okay, so they're going for Basilisk Gate to gain life. Now they're at 10. We don't have lethal. We don't find Basilisk Gate. If we had Basilisk Gate in hand, I think we win here. We might not have enough money for mana for Counterspell, but we don't have it, so is what it is. Another flying blocker. They get to Brainstorm here with Squadron Hawks. They probably put 2 Squadron Hawks on top. Cast Squadron Hawk. Put him back in hand, as you do. And if I counterspell this, then I don't have counterspell for Prismatic Strands. So at this point, like, I have 3 minutes on the clock. It's obvious that I am going to lose the match, but I would like to see the end of the game. So I'm going to continue to play it out just to see if we can end up winning the game. And I mean, I am catching up on clock. If I manage to catch up another 2 minutes. Damn that stream delay. Just gonna hit F6 here. One of my only paths to victory at this point is the opponent timing out. Uh-oh. Yep. I hit F6, but it wasn't in time. It's like, ah, well. I guess we're dead. That was really bad timing on that F6. They probably had Counterspell in hand. Didn't matter. Yeah. Anyways, got a 2-3 with Caw Gate. Managed to beat the mirror match once and lost the other time. Not really happy with this league, but this is, you know, some learning, some experience. Definitely a difficult deck to just pick up and play. All right, so this is the deck that we were playing today, Caw Gate, the Azorius Basilisk Gate deck. Really, really strong deck. We've seen, you know, like multiple times people have done very, very well with this deck. I myself didn't do very well today, but I think we can mostly chalk that up to inexperience with the deck. I was struggling a lot of the time, wasn't really sure which cards I was supposed to be casting and what sequence, what was important to counter, and definitely made a few mistakes in the mirror match. That last play for sure, I was thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to F6 because it's more about time than anything else, and that's when the opponent slams Arms of Hadar. Anyway, I do think that the deck is great. It's just, I think you really need to get the reps in before you're really going to be seeing returns from it. I mean, like, I love Basilisk Gate. I've played so many Gate stacks, and I just love anything playing this card. When you're playing this with Sacred Cat and Squadron Hawk and Guardian of the Guildpact, I mean, that's pretty good stuff. And pretty much whenever we were able to resolve a Guardian of the Guildpact, felt like we were in a really, really solid position. I do like the 4-colored deck post sideboard where we can be bringing in Pyroblasts and, you know, like have Suffocating Fumes, Arms of Hadar. It's a little bit difficult with the mana, but generally, you know, like we've got the 4 Citadel Gates, the 4 Sea Gates, we got the Heap Gate, which can make treasures. So it wasn't too hard to find the mana. Although sometimes that I felt like that did make my play take a little bit longer to, like, okay, which land should I use here? This is the one that has red mana. I gotta use that other one. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the deck. Just get some reps in before you pay money to play with it, maybe.